I think most calisthenics athletes would seriously benefit from training every day, not as a really long thing, like as in a 2-hour workout each day. Of course not, right? You're going to kill yourself, you're going to burn out yourself, you're probably going to injure yourself if you do something like that, but more so as a short kind of session type of thing. So as a 20-minute session, 15-minute session, even 10-minute sessions each day will make you a lot of progress within calisthenics. I'm going to explain why. Most people, they treat calisthenics like it's a huge event. They head over to the gym, they kind of squash everything into their training session. They want to train this, and this, and they want to work on this, and this, and their workout or their training ends up being like 2 or 3 hours long, right? That's huge, and they wonder why it's so difficult to stick to this, to stay consistent with this. I genuinely don't think you guys understand how difficult this is. You're spending 2 or 3 hours 3 times per week. This is like 6 hours bare minimum, and it could go up to 10 hours, maybe even possibly like 12 hours per week that you're trying to do training for, right? This is super hard as a beginner. And especially if you're not seeing anything, or you're not seeing any return on results or return on investment, this is very hard to commit to. It is so much easier to build a habit, well, there's a B there, to build a habit that you kind of repeatedly do for a short amount of time, rather than to have giant sessions that you're doing each week, relying on motivational discipline to kind of hold you in place. If you start with 5 minutes a day, whatever you're doing, it's not really a drag. It's not something that you need to pump yourself up for. It just becomes integrated into your life. Once it is integrated into your life, you can start to make those steps to make the session longer, make the session more demanding. But it's still, those small changes don't really make much of a difference in your head. If you start with a giant session like 2 hours, of course, it's like a dinosaur I'm facing off against. When it comes to any type of skill in life, frequency will build the result way better than giant things put together or giant sessions put together. Every skill will benefit from this, whether you're doing your kind of basics like elbow lever, or you're going into handstand, muscle up, or you're going into the harder skills like planche and front lever. They have technique to them. They have things that you need to learn, and they have things that benefit from the frequency or reminders of training. The way that I see big sessions that are kind of 3 times a week, you've got big breaks between each session, is more as like the first part of the session is just reminding yourself how you do the movement, is just warming up, is just getting your body back into the groove of things. It's like you've retired and then come back to things, and then you've forgotten things, so I need to remind myself before I can actually get into the session. You're not trying to reteach your body what to do in calisthenics once or twice per week. You're trying to learn new things, and if you have that frequency, you don't need to remind your body as much. It knows the position, it learns better, so now you can actually learn the next steps above because you don't forget. Your body doesn't forget. With calisthenics, the longer a session often gets, the less you end up learning. Your fatigue goes up, so you're no longer pushing at the same rate that you could at the beginning of the session. Your mentality, it drops down, so you're starting to slow down mentally, you're starting to think slower, you're starting to get tired, hungry, whatever it is that you are. The brain plays a huge part in how well we actually do and focus in our attempts. If I'm there, if I'm in the session, if I'm kind of focused, then my skill is going to be a lot better. That's especially with like handstands, muscle ups, also even planche though, right? If I can mentally get myself into the skill, it's going to end up a lot better. If I'm fatigued, I'm starting to slow it down, the skill is going to get sloppy. So we know the mental side of calisthenics benefits a lot more from frequent sessions. A year ago, I would have believed that it would be better to do big sessions 3 times a week, the same way that you do in muscle training, right? It works for muscle training. It should be the same for calisthenics, right? Muscle building doesn't take much skill. Calisthenics takes a lot of skill, right? I don't care if I'm upsetting anyone like that, but muscle building is very repetitive. Calisthenics, you're learning. Muscle building, you're doing the same thing. Maybe you're changing the weight, but you are doing the same exercise on repeat. This is what I encourage all of my students to do, not because they're lazy, not because they can't commit to the bigger sessions, but because it helps you build that repetition a lot easier. Just having that repetition in there will build a skill way better, way more efficiently than a big session ever could. The goal isn't to train harder, to do these 1 or 2 sessions where you train super hard, super long so that you can feel good about yourself, but then not keep it up the next week. The goal is to bring this into your life, to get the repetition in there and to actually learn the skill. Look, I get it. Most of you have other things to do other than calisthenics. You have these commitments, you have work. You can't do these massive workouts like 2 or 3 hours, but at the same time, you don't know how to set up these short sessions. If you want some additional help setting up these sessions so that they're scheduled around your lifestyle, so that they actually progress you, so that you can actually see achievements with your training, then there's a link in the description I've left for you. If you did enjoy the video, guys, I'd love it if you could subscribe or like the video. It does help boost the algorithm or boost the video out to other people that might benefit from it. I'll catch you guys in the next one.